Well, thanks very much for having me. And I think I've never seen, such active engagement on the matter of regulation. And I think, for the first time, especially or particularly here in Zambia, open access is the reality. When you've had, a subject discussed for many years without tangible, results or real traction happening, people tend to kind of like just put it to the back of their minds. But now I think there's a real expectation that we will have, the first phase of the open access regime rolled out. And so you had, I think even after the end of the formal panel, people really interested in finding out and, trying to learn as much as possible about it.
So what opportunities do you see in clean energy?
I think clean energy is an absolute, requirement in, in the world today, both for kind of like your local sustainability purposes in terms of how you generate your electricity, emissions, environmental degradation, but even for the users. So as mines and industry here, I think earlier in the day we heard talk about reindustrializing Zambia, and especially if you're going to look at export markets into Europe, companies will be very keen to minimize their carbon footprint because they get penalized, or the products get penalized when they try to enter foreign markets through things like the carbon border adjustment mechanism. So it's extremely important. In Zambia we haven't had that problem really because we've been hydro dependent, but as we invest in new generation in the future, the clean component is still very important for us to have as much of that as possible. So absolutely important that we don't lose focus of that, even as we look to diversify our generation mix.
So what excites you most about this space?
I think there's, when you combine that with real GDP growth happening, what you need is a total package that is going to work. So our macro management, national management, we heard again earlier today talk about policy stability. We heard talk about transparency and fairness of frameworks. An investor will look at the total package, and yes, you may have one or two exciting transactions in the sector, but you have to have the whole sector and indeed the whole country being fairly investable for things to move along. And when I listen to various speakers on different topics, but especially from a regulatory perspective, what people have top of mind is that is going to be the determinant of how much investment we can attract. So I'm very glad that mines have that in focus as we develop our open access regime and look to the way forward.
Do you think how is Zambia's carbon footprint looking?
From an energy perspective, we're doing well. We have 80-90% hydro. We do have some coal, but even the coal that we generate, when we think about coal, we still have kind of like a stereotypical impression of plumes of black emissions and things. But I think when you look at what latest technology is achieving today, you don't have uncontrolled and unmitigated emissions and pollution. But for Zambia, we've got great solar resources. We've got a great wind resource, especially for a landlocked country, and we have a great pipeline, not just as Greenco, but various players in the market. There's a great national pipeline of projects coming, and that's important because it keeps signaling to the rest of the world looking to invest in other sectors that Zambia will have sufficient, reliable and competitively priced power to support your investments. If we can't signal that, then investment will keep standing on the sidelines waiting to see what's going to power my operations. So provided we keep growing and we keep signaling through execution of projects then the rest of the economy is going to benefit from that, including electrifying, households. We mustn't forget as a very important index of our national development. Move away people from being or communities from being, energy deficient to providing energy and increasing productivity across the board.
So before I let you go, what's next for Africa Green Co?
So Africa Green Co, we want to carry momentum from 2024, 2025, executing our plan. We are, a very important part of the execution, structure in terms of delivering projects. As you might have seen last year, we raised, additional capital or, risk instruments into our structure that can support, several hundred megawatts of generation projects, that we de-risk through our PPA, utilizing that capital. So it's very much about execution, heads down. It's great to see the lights on 24 hours today, and we want to make sure that we never go back, to the dark days of 2024, and 2025. So as a collective in the industry, that's P1. Having good power, reliable power, affordable power is a national competitive advantage that we need to recognize we have, that is not replicable in many parts of the world.